Hey, it's the Cindy's Toy Show. You are listening on 92.7 FM and 95.3 FM HD4. Also on TuneIn Radio, the TuneIn Radio app. Download that app and you can listen to Nooga Radio anywhere, anytime, and catch the Cindy's Choice Show. This is Cindy, and it is my absolute pleasure to be here. It is Cindy's Choice to make a positive impact in our community. And I have a great guest joining me today in order to do that. Miss Michelle Heron, anchor and reporter with Channel 3, who I refer to as my favorite first responder, is here with us. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, thank you so much for having me today. I'm so excited.
Oh, me too. This is my absolute pleasure. But I got to say, this is the first show. I don't get nervous. I think that's why they let me do this. I just get on here and I just talk, and I'm very inquisitive. So, but you're like a real reporter.
Yeah, it's crazy that they put me on TV.
Well, and we're on YouTube, by the way. I didn't mention that. We're on YouTube and we're live streaming on Facebook as well. Hello, Facebook. Thanks for joining us. And we're on Michelle's Facebook as well. Hey, everybody.
Everybody's watching.
Yes, it's awesome. But Michelle is joining me here today. But first, I want to jump in. I'm so eager to talk to her. Again, we're in a first responder season, I think. And Michelle came heavy to my mind because I've heard her story and I understand a little bit about the reporter's job. And I wanted to talk to her a lot about that. But first, I want to remind our listener that we can bring you this platform a lot because of Chicken Salad Chick.
Place is so great.
Isn't it the best?
Oh, it's the best.
I love it. And I love that they have 12 varieties of chicken salad, but they actually have something for everyone because they have egg salad, they have spicy pimento cheese, they have plain pimento cheese. You can get like a pimento cheese BLT. I mean, there's all kinds of choices besides Chicken Salad Chick, but they have the best Chicken Salad Chick. And I focus a lot on health and wellness. And I love the fact that the classic Carol, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten. Did you know that?
Yeah, I did know that. And I always love going there because I try other things because you can get free samples before you actually order it. So that's what I love about it is I step out of my comfort zone and then I figure out, I actually kind of like that. So
that's a great point. Thank you. Because I'm the one I've always I would go in and get my cranberry Kelly every time. And it wasn't till I started working with them and started saying, oh my gosh, this is good. Oh my gosh, this is good. Now it's kind of a big decision when I go in there. I have to rotate through all my favorite flavors. But Chicken Salad Chick, they're a great catering option, 3 locations. We're so proud of Josh for opening his 3rd location at Erlanger Mall. That's being very well received over there. And it's Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com, Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com for great catering options. You can call them directly at 423-781-1330. And another great sponsor that we have is Nova Advisors. Nova Advisors is a contingency-based business service. They can bring a variety of strategies to reclaim or save business operational costs with no upfront fees. It's amazing the kinds of savings that businesses don't know that they have. This comes through auditing. There's a workers' opportunity tax credit that a lot of businesses don't know how to take advantage of, or it's too timely of a process. Mm-hmm. And this is something that Nova Advisors can help with. And they're in some cases, there's a small software fee, but otherwise, there's no charges. They go find the savings, and then the fee comes out of a small percentage out of that savings. So novaadvisors.us, novaadvisors.us. If you're a business owner, I highly recommend you check that out. Or if you work for a business, let them know about that because it's great savings for the business. Okay, now let's talk with Michelle. Michelle, what I like to do first is find out a little bit more about my guest. And I know that you're not directly from Chattanooga,
nope.
But tell us, you're an Army brat, right?
I sure am. And I'm proud to say that.
Exactly. Because I was a single mom brat. We moved all over the place too. So I totally get it. But just tell us a little bit about Michelle. Where are you from? And what are your beginnings?
Yeah. So I, like you mentioned, come from a family of military. My parents actually met in the Army. They met in Germany. And it turns out both of them are from New York, the state of New York. My mom's from upstate. Wow. My dad's from the city. So what are the odds that 2 people from New York meet in Germany So they kind of, that's where they met. They got married. My mom got out of the Army after having me. She served 11 years. And then my dad continued to serve. He finished his 20 years and then went in on the government side. And so that's what he still does. My mom is now a physical therapist, but she works at the hospital on post in Clarksville. So I'm not born and raised from Clarksville, but that's where I've lived the most. That's where my parents still are.
Right.
That's where I went to high school. So I have a lot of roots there.
I totally relate to that because, like I was sharing, is I was born in Houston, but I went to high school and lived a long time in Dallas. So forever, I felt like when people said, "Where are you from?" I'd say Dallas, even though I was born in Houston, and we'd moved around a lot in between before we got to Dallas either. But now, before I came back to Chattanooga, and I've lived here about 18 years, but this is my third time back, and the last time away was like 9 years. And but in 7 years of that was spent in Houston. So now I say I'm from Houston. I just confuse everybody. They're like, "Where is she from?" But actually, normally I just round it up and say, "Okay, I'm from Texas." That's enough said.
Enough said. Yeah, so I love Tennessee. Even though a lot of my family is from up north, I can't do with the winters. I can't do with all the snow. I can't. Even though I get put out in the snow every time
I'm a Southern girl. Most of my time has been spent in Tennessee, Texas, and Florida. I would have a real hard time up north.
It's good to visit, though.
Yes, I love it. I love it. I love. I've been talking about. I have some friends from Chicago, and I love to go to Chicago and places up there. But I like it here. And because I actually promote that I'm Chattanooga by choice. And a lot of that is because we have 4 distinct seasons. And coming from Houston, we have very long summers. And when we do get a winter, it's very short. And people talk about humidity here, and I just kind of grin. It is so humid in Houston. So I really love our balanced climate here. And of course, we could go on forever about all the cool things to love about Chattanooga.
Oh, I love it. I've thought about, what would be next? When is it that time to leave if I wanted to? But I talked about it with my mom, and she says, "Michelle, if you're happy and you don't have a reason to leave, then what's the point?"
Exactly.
And I was like, "Oh, she's right." So Here I am. Y'all are stuck with me.
Oh, we don't mind that one bit. Oh, well, so tell me, what directed you toward a career as a reporter? And again, we'll get into this more later in the show, maybe in the second half, but I think of Michelle as a first responder, and we'll share more about that with all the recent catastrophes, with the weather people, where, the kind of input and information we were able to get because they were brave enough to be on the front lines. And then, but that's what reporters face. When they get the story, they're heading there, and sometimes in some cases are ahead of the police and the ambulance and so forth like that. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But first, I want to find out more about like kind of your why. What directed you toward reporting? Was it something you'd always dreamed of, or something you just kind of recognized you had a knack for, or how did that all start?
A little bit of both. So growing up, my mom will tell you, I loved to perform all the time, and I was constantly writing. I used to have this little childhood dream of mine where I wanted to write a book. And I literally, on pen and paper, notebook paper, I was writing a fairy tale story. And one day I thought I was going to go on the Rosie O'Donnell show, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought I was going to get a book deal one day. I was always dreaming big.
But for you.
for me, but constantly writing, always had this imagination. And then on top of that, always loved to perform in some way, shape, or form, whether that was dance. I later got into gymnastics and then cheerleading. So that was like my outlet of performing. And so when I was in high school up in Clarksville, Kenwood High School, I took a media class. And with Miss Amy Jackson, I always give her the credit of helping me figure out my passion. Her class had the tools we didn't just focus on news or anything like that, but we had the chance to produce documentaries, produce commercials, produce news stories.
Wow.
We got to do movies. We got to do a little bit of everything just to get your feet wet and figure out, oh, okay, that was kind of cool. Or, I did it, but I probably wouldn't do it again. And that was where I figured out that I like to talk to people. I like to find out their stories, and I like to help people. And by sharing their stories, that's what I get to do. And that's what I fell in love with. And then just the other side of it with presenting that story, that's still my way of performing. And so just as the years have gone on, I went to college, first went to Austin Peay State University there in Clarksville, then transferred to MTSU, Middle Tennessee State University. And that's where I ended up graduating. They have a wonderful program there. And I just keep hearing great things ever since I've left. It's been a couple of years, but
wow.
But it just, as the years have gone on, just that passion keeps becoming renewed.
Yes.
You know how sometimes you're in life and you just kind of fall into a pit and you're just like, man, I just feel like I'm stuck running in place.
Oh,
but
yeah.
then every once in a while you get that one thing and you're like, that's why I do this. That's why I love this. And that's what this job gives, the opportunities that I get. I get that out of life, and that's what I like.
And I love that. And oh my goodness, because I talk about that a lot on the show. Is I'm very passion and purpose driven, and it took me a good while. What my problem was, I was passionate about so many things, and what I finally recognized was I'm passionate about helping. So I just have to find anything I can help with, I can get passionate about as long as the integrity is behind it. So what better role to be than in a marketing thing? So that's the key thing with any of my clients. As long as they have integrity and have a good offering to people, I can get passionate about that because I'm helping connect people with something good. But it took me a while to get there because I was all over. I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about that, and it was like I couldn't get a focus. And it wasn't until I started kind of breaking it down. Okay, passion leads to purpose. Let me figure out a way to combine these passions and plug into a purpose. And I finally got there. So I love seeing that you're getting that figured out. Like
I echo all of that. I mean, because when someone comes to you with a story and they need something and they don't know what to do, and you have that natural instinct to, I want to help you. You need help. How can I help you? Well, for me, sharing that story, no matter what it is, that's my way of helping. Whether that be I help connect you with a resource that can help them that way, or by sharing that story, that's when someone steps forward and says, hey, I can help this way. That makes me feel so much better seeing people go from hurting to thriving. I love that.
Isn't it the best?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And that's how I'm loving this radio platform that is my focus is who can I help right now? Who needs help with something? What can I promote for a nonprofit? Or what kind of awareness can I create for something? And that's quite frankly why I wanted to have you on, because with all the catastrophes in the news, you came to mind. Because I did get the privilege of hearing you speak and hear a more in-depth version of your story. And I thought, oh my goodness, all these people that are out there running toward the front lines, instead of away from them. And it's not that people don't appreciate it, but there is I want to be careful how I say that, because there's just an awareness I think that's necessary, where that we do appreciate the people that are doing that. And yeah, you're paid. That's your job. But if you go in there with that attitude that it's your job, you're not going to have that job long. I mean, it does to me. I'm not going to act like I know everybody and their purpose that works with a TV station. But in my opinion, what draws me to you is it is a drive in you to really help. And to me, when a position like that, we're going to have Police Chief Roddy on in a few weeks, and he is truly driven to serve and to help. And I'm like, thank God that's who's in the leadership of our police force in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And it might sound crazy to some people, but I'm thankful for that in a reporter. Oh gosh, what am I saying? Especially I am right now, and the news atmosphere we have now, and we can get into this some more too with dare I say fake news and so forth like that. That it's important that we recognize the integrity behind reporting, behind the businesses we use. It all comes down to integrity and relationship. And that's why Michelle came to mind, because she's authentic. So so tell me a little bit about some of your challenges with because I mean, for me personally, as a marketing person, I know a lot of people recognize marketing as fluff. Oh, you're the face of the company. Oh, you're the social person, and so forth. And quite frankly, I am one of the hardest working people you will ever meet. And I'm told that a lot. Because it is. I have to be on so much of the time. I don't sit at a desk very long at all. Actually, I can't wait till I can afford a full time administrative person because I get behind easy because it's my job to be out there, and it's my job to be connecting and to be serving in the community, and I do that. If that wasn't authentic, if I didn't really want to serve and understand about like helping someone else grow is a lot better way to help yourself grow, then I wouldn't be lasting very long. But it's still it's a very high energy, um, exhausting at times profession. And then I sit there and think, oh my goodness. And I told you about like I knew Mary Ellen pretty well, and I used to think, how does she do it? Mary Ellen Locher, I was referring to from Channel 9. I'm like, so how do you do it, Michelle? How do you do it? What are some of your challenges there?
There's so many. I think the list can go on and on and on, and it's different every single day. Every day is different for me, and that's another reason why I'm so drawn to journalism and just to what I do, is because I don't think I could do the same thing every single day. Some people can, and I have tremendous respect for that. I just can't. I have a mind that I gotta stay. You gotta keep me interested.
Yes.
But so every day is a little bit different, whether that comes from issues with sometimes equipment. I think just being in radio, if it can go wrong,
yes,
it probably will. And that's why you have plan A, and then after plan A, you have plan B, C, D, E, and F. And you think of all these scenarios and how to. That's so funny
because I only have like plan B, and then I was just reminding myself today. I messaged one of my guys. I said, "Come in and record some shows with me," because I'm starting to think now. Oh gosh, what if this happens again, or what if that happens? Okay, I need to be prepared. So I'm starting to get that down.
So you just kind of you roll with the punches. That's one thing that I've had to learn in the 7 years that I've been doing this. Is you can't control everything, even though you want to. But you can't control everything. You have to learn just how to go with it. What are some other? I mean, I think the biggest one is learning how to not take no for an answer. No or
hard.
Just roadblocks. So if I'm assigned to something, or if I'm trying to find something out, and it's, well, I don't know, or this person's not answering their phone because maybe they're doing something else, or if I just can't find out, that's not. Okay, well, I'm just going to throw my hands up in the air and just say, well, I can't figure that out. You have to keep trying. You have to keep thinking outside of the box, talking to more people. You learn, you get to see the bigger scope of what's going on when you talk to more people, rather than just talking to one or two.
Oh, Michelle, you just hit on a very key concept or aspect of the concept of Cindy's choice, because it comes down to talking to more people and connecting with more people. And I am just so privileged to have a radio platform to amplify the relationships. But I've worked hard at getting out. I came here not knowing anyone in the B2B world, the business world, a couple of years ago, because I was a mom when I was here. I was a hang glider pilot. I wasn't starting a business when I was here before. And I got out there and I created awareness, earning the trust, and earning the respect of the community. And I got away from that a little bit because I kind of jumped into the radio thing and, took on more shows, and it pulled me away from the community. And I had to kind of let some of that go and plug back in where I've got the best of both now. I love this wonderful platform to help. That's how I look at this as a platform to help and serve, and amplify those relationships. But I was at a mixer last night, and I was saying, I miss this. I miss these. Y'all all know me. And then I met some new people too. But if we're not out here connecting on a regular basis, I'm missing out on a lot. So that is, I love that you shared that, because it's the same for you. You're out, you can't share as much and really report as authentic of a story as you need to report if you're not really connecting with enough people and really getting all the feedback. And that's a lot where people get frustrated with news stories, is because they're like, wait, they didn't know about this. And you really taking that extra effort to get in there and dig in and find out the different perspectives, the different views, is really key.
And well, you mentioned connecting with people and those connections. And I that's another challenge. Just being out somewhere, I'm a stranger to a lot of people, and I walk up and I'm starting to ask questions and just kind of start to learn more. And I totally get it. But then that person is just like, well, who are you? And why should I talk to you? And I get it, because I totally get it. I'd be the same exact way.
Yes.
But it's like, well, I have to make that connection quick, because I don't have all day. But I have to make that connection and get them to trust me and to understand. And that's easier for some. It's harder for others, because everyone has a different background.
This is just blowing me away, because I go through the same thing, and especially being new to the area. And my job is to meet people and connect. And I'm just instant friends with everybody. I love everybody. I see the best in everyone. And yet, I get that look sometimes of people and I have to just remind not everybody's it's like, who is this person? And I have to really, and more so here in Chattanooga, than I've come from metropolitan area or metro cities with like Houston and Dallas. And there's more of that there, because you have to. There's not a tight network of connection. And you have to get out there and connect quick and find your synergies and see if you need to move forward and so forth. So it's a little different here, but it's a good different. I mean, that's why this is the perfect place for me to introduce Cindy's Choice, is because this is a city that understands relationships and networks, because that's why it's thriving.
Yeah. And it's getting that person to open up so that I can understand what they're going through, what they're feeling, what they're questioning. And then I can use that in the bigger picture. The more people that I can get those perspectives from, that helps drive my other questions that I might be asking or looking, you know what I mean? Rather than just talking to one or two people, but not really finding out, okay, how does this affect other people? Cause and effect.
Bigger picture, yes,
exactly.
Definitely.
It's all about that bigger picture and questioning and saying, well, why is that? And well, why is that? I've really had to learn that and trust that asking questions isn't a bad thing.
No.
It's just getting a deeper understanding of what's really going on.
Yes. And it's blowing me away, because now I have a job of asking questions. And it's like I told you, I don't like to give interviews. I like to have a conversation. That's because it's hard to ask questions. And I didn't really recognize that that's partly what I'm guarding myself from. Yeah. So I said, wow, thanks for the therapy. and we're down to 30 seconds, but hang with us. We're going to take a break off Facebook and start up again, and off YouTube as well. But y'all stay tuned for part 2. Michelle's going to hang with me, and we've got a whole lot more to talk about. I can't believe that this first 20 minutes flew by so quickly.
It really did.
But stay tuned on the Cindy's Choice Show. You're listening on 92.7 FM and 95.3 FM HD4. Also, download your TuneIn Radio app and stay tuned. We'll be back.